realized the car had been stolen.
Turn it off.
Golson never expected what the driver did next.
The courtroom goes silent. Every eye locks on the man in the orange jumpsuit. Damon Brackwell sits at the defense table, his shoulders shaking. Tears stream down his face. For 6 months, he's been stone. Cold. Empty. Now he's breaking apart like glass under a hammer. The judge leans forward, reading glasses sliding down her nose. She glances at the prosecutor, then back at Damon. Her lips part. The sentence is coming. Everyone feels it. Lighter than expected. The evidence has holes. Big ones. The defense attorney straightens his tie, almost smiling. Then the courtroom door swings open. Hard. Fast. A detective rushes in, holding a silver hard drive above his head like a trophy. The prosecutor's eyes go wide. She stands so quick her chair scrapes the floor. "Your Honor," she says, voice cutting through the silence. The video has been recovered. Hi viewers, kindly tell us where you're watching from and what time it is. Damon's tears stop. Just like that. His face freezes. The judge's hand hovers over her gavel. She doesn't blink, doesn't move. The entire courtroom holds its breath. Bailiffs shift their weight. Officer families in the gallery lean forward. Someone's phone buzzes. Nobody answers it. "Play it," the judge says. The lights dim. A screen flickers to life on the wall. Static crackles through the speakers. Then the image sharpens. A patrol car. 2 officers inside. Date stamp in the corner reads, April 12th, 2017. Hawthorne, Queensridge. The camera angle is high, maybe from a traffic pole or storefront. A figure walks into frame. Male, 30-something, adjusting something under his jacket. The figure stops, turns, raises his arm slowly. The screen cuts to black. Will the video prove Damon's guilt beyond doubt, or will it reveal something no one expected? April 12th, 2017. Patrol car 47 rolls through Queensridge at 9:42 p.m. Officer Reynold Marks drives. His partner, Brent Jackson, rides shotgun, sipping cold coffee from a gas station cup. The radio crackles with dispatcher chatter. Nothing urgent, just another Tuesday night. Marks spots him first. A man walking on the sidewalk, head down, hands fidgeting near his waistband. The guy keeps adjusting something, pulling at his jacket, looking over his shoulder every few steps. "See that?" Marks says, nodding toward the man. Jackson looks up. "Yeah, let's check it out." Marks slows the car, pulls alongside the curb. Jackson rolls down his window. The man stops walking, freezes in place. His hand moves to his waistband again. "Evening, sir," Marks calls out, keeping his voice calm. "Can you tell me what's in your waistband?" The man's eyes dart left. Right. Back to the officers. His jaw tightens. Time stretches. 1 second. 2. 3. Then his hand moves. Fast. He pulls a black pistol from under his jacket. No hesitation, no warning. He raises it, points it straight at the windshield. The muzzle flashes orange in the streetlight. Gunshots explode through the night. Glass shatters. Jackson ducks. Marks jerks backward. Blood sprays across the dashboard. The shooter fires again, and again. Point-blank range. The patrol car's horn blares as Marks collapses forward onto the steering wheel. The shooter stares into the car for a long second, gun still raised, as if making a choice. What went through the shooter's mind in that moment of silence? Damon Brackwell runs. His shoes slap against wet pavement. His breath comes in gasps. Behind him, sirens wail. Red and blue lights paint the buildings. He cuts through an alley, jumps a chain-link fence, lands hard on the other side. 7 months ago, he got into something. A fight. A robbery. Details don't matter now. What matters is the warrant. His name in the system. Wanted. Dangerous. Do not approach alone. He thought the officers recognized him. Thought they were about to cuff him. Haul him in. Lock him away forever. So he made a choice. A terrible, split-second choice. Damon stumbles into another alley, rips off his jacket, tosses it behind a dumpster. The gun feels heavy in his waistband. Too heavy. He pulls it out, wipes it on his shirt, shoves it into a storm drain. Metal clangs against concrete as it falls. Not going back, he mutters, chest heaving. Never going back. He ducks into an abandoned lot. Boards cover the windows of a 3-story townhouse. Graffiti covers the bricks. Broken glass glitters on the steps. Damon looks around. No one. He kicks in the back door. Wood splinters. He slips inside. Hours later, a neighbor walks her dog past the same house. She notices something strange. The boards over one window hang crooked. Light flickers inside. Faint. Yellow. Like a candle or a phone screen. She pulls out her cell, dials 911. The lights inside the house flicker again, then go steady, as if someone just decided to stay. Why would Damon choose to hide in a place everyone could see? SWAT vans surround the townhouse by midnight. Officers in tactical gear crouch behind car doors, rifles aimed at the boarded windows. A negotiator lifts a megaphone, voice booming through the empty street. Damon Brackwell, we know you're inside. Come out with your hands up. Nothing. Silence. Then a voice from inside, muffled but clear. They were going to kill me first. The negotiator lowers the megaphone, looks at the sergeant. They exchange a glance. The sergeant shakes his head. This is going to take a while. Hours crawl by. 2 a.m. becomes 3. 3 becomes 4. Damon shouts from inside again, voice cracking. I acted in self-defense. They reached for their guns. That's not what witnesses say, Damon, the negotiator calls back. Officer Marks never drew his weapon. Neither did Jackson. You fired first. You don't know what really happened. Inside the house, Damon paces. His phone battery is at 4%. No food, no water. Just dust and broken furniture. His hands won't stop shaking. Every time he closes his eyes, he sees Officer Marks slump forward. Sees the blood. Hears the horn. At 5:47 a.m., SWAT deploys flash bangs. Windows explode in white light and thunder. Damon drops to the floor, hands over his ears. The front door crashes open. Boots pound up the stairs. Red laser dots dance across the walls. Get down! Get it down, now! Damon lies flat, arms spread wide. An officer's knee presses into his back. Cold metal cuffs click around his wrists. They yank him to his feet. His legs barely hold him. As they walk him to the van, Damon leans close to one officer and whispers, You don't know what really happened. What does Damon know that no one else does? 6 months later. The courtroom feels smaller than it should. Wood panels, high ceiling, rows of benches packed with people. Officer Mark's family sits in the front row. His mother wears black. Her hands grip a folded handkerchief so tight her knuckles turn white. The prosecutor calls her to the stand. She walks slowly, each step an effort. The bailiff swears her in. She sits, looks at the jury, then at Damon. He stares at the table, doesn't look up. "Mrs. Marks," the prosecutor says gently, "can you tell the court how your life changed on April 12th? Her voice comes out small at first, barely a whisper. "My world was split in half that night. Everything I knew, gone. My son was my heart. My only boy." She pauses, swallows hard. "Now my house is silent, forever silent. I wake up and forget for 1 second. Then I remember. And the pain, it's unbearable." Tears roll down her cheeks. She doesn't wipe them away. "I'll never see him get married, never meet his children, never hear his voice again. All because someone decided his life didn't matter." She looks directly at Damon. He still won't meet her eyes. The jury watches. Some of them wipe their own eyes. The prosecutor lets the silence sit. Let it sink in. "Thank you, Mrs. Marks," the prosecutor finally says. "No further questions." Damon sits frozen. No expression, no tears, nothing. The defense attorney watches him, worried. This coldness isn't helping. The jury sees a man who doesn't care. Just before the judge calls for recess, the defense attorney stands. He walks to the bench holding a sealed manila envelope. The judge takes it, raises an eyebrow, opens it, reads. Her expression shifts. She looks at the defense attorney, then at Damon. "Your Honor," the attorney says quietly. "This changes everything. What's inside the envelope that could turn the entire trial upside down?" The neurologist's fingers tap the brain scan pinned to the lightbox. Gray matter swirls across the film like storm clouds, frozen mid-rotation. "These patterns," Dr. Helena Carr says, her voice clinical and detached, "indicate significant frontal lobe abnormalities." She traces a shadow with her pen. "The region responsible for impulse control, threat assessment, decision-making." The courtroom leans forward. Every eye locks on the illuminated image. Damon Brackwell sits rigid at the defense table, his face a mask of practiced emptiness. His attorney, Marcus Trent, stands beside the witness stand, arms crossed like a man holding aces. "In your professional opinion, Doctor, could Monsieur Brackwell have accurately assessed the situation that night?" Marcus asks. Dr. Carr nods slowly. "His brain would have interpreted normal stimuli as life-threatening. Fight-or-flight response, magnified exponentially. He likely couldn't distinguish between actual danger and perceived danger." The prosecutor, Claudia Martinez, scribbles notes so hard her pen nearly tears the paper. Officer Reynold Marks' mother dabs her eyes with a tissue worn thin from hours of crying. The judge, Honorable Vincent Cross, leans back in his chair, fingers steepled beneath his chin. His expression shifts. Not much. Just enough. A crack in the certainty he wore all morning. Marcus paces 3 steps, turns. So when Officers Marks and Jackson approached Mr. Brackwell that night, his compromised brain would have processed their presence as what? "An immediate existential threat," Dr. Carr replies. "His neural pathways couldn't execute rational analysis, only survival instinct." Damon's jaw tightens. His hands rest flat on the table, but his thumbs twitch against the wood grain. Marcus delivers his closing line like a sermon. "Ladies and gentlemen, My client didn't choose violence. His brain did. Silence swallows the room. Judge Cross shifts papers on his bench, the sound sharp as breaking glass. He looks at Damon. Really looks. For the first time all trial, something besides contempt flickers across the judge's face. Doubt. Claudia Martinez rises halfway from her seat, then stops. Her assistant leans close, whispers words no one else can hear. Claudia's face goes pale. She mouths one word back. No. Judge Cross removes his glasses, pinches the bridge of his nose. Ms. Martinez, if the state has evidence contradicting this defense, I suggest you present it immediately. His tone carries weight, not anger, expectation. Claudia stands, smooths her blazer. Your Honor, we've encountered a significant obstacle. She pauses. The courtroom holds its breath. The surveillance footage from the patrol car's dashboard camera was corrupted during initial evidence processing. We've been working with digital forensics for 6 months. The file remains inaccessible. Marcus shoots to his feet. Your Honor, the prosecution has had ample time to establish their case. This last-minute delay tactic. Judge Cross raises one hand. Marcus falls silent. Counselor, I'm not interested in theatrics. Ms. Martinez, are you telling this court that the state's primary evidence no longer exists? Claudia's throat works. We have witness statements, ballistic reports, Officer Jackson's testimony, but no video, Judge Cross interrupts. His voice drops lower. Dangerous. No visual record of the defendant's actions, expressions, movements. Correct, Your Honor. The judge leans forward, elbows on the bench. Then we have a problem. Damon's face transforms. The mask cracks. One corner of his mouth lifts. Not a smile. Something smaller. Colder. Victory measured in millimeters. Officer Jackson sits 3 rows back, his jaw clenched so tight the muscle jumps beneath his skin. His hands grip the wooden pew until his knuckles bleach white. Judge Cross flips through documents, each page turned deliberate. Slow. Based on the neurological testimony and the absence of definitive visual evidence, this court may have no choice but to consider reduced charges. Marcus touches Damon's shoulder. Damon doesn't flinch, doesn't blink, just stares straight ahead at the judge's bench like a man watching his prison door swing open. Claudia's assistant tugs her sleeve, whispers again. Claudia shakes her head violently. The courtroom doors burst open. Detective Raymond Pierce sprints down the center aisle, shoes hammering tile. He carries a silver hard drive, cables dangling like tentacles. Your Honor, he gasps, breathless. We recovered it. The bailiff connects the hard drive to the courtroom monitor. Static fills the screen. White noise hisses through speakers mounted in the ceiling corners. Then the image resolves. Timestamp, April 12, 2017, 9:47 p.m. The patrol car's dashboard camera captures everything in washed-out gray tones. Officer Marks sits in the driver's seat, window rolled down. Officer Jackson rides passenger side, radio microphone clipped to his vest. A figure enters frame from the left. Male, 30s, hands in hoodie pockets. Damon Brackwell. The courtroom recognizes him instantly. Same build, same walk. Officer Marks leans out his window. Evening, sir. His voice carries no threat, pure routine. Can I ask what you're adjusting in your waistband? Damon stops walking. His head turns toward the patrol car. Slowly. So slowly the movement looks mechanical. calculated. He doesn't speak. His right hand slides beneath his hoodie, pauses there. His eyes sweep the street. Left, right, behind, scanning, measuring. No panic registers on his face. No confusion. No fear. He pulls the gun. The barrel catches sodium streetlight, glints orange. Damon steps closer to the patrol car. 1 step. 2. Officer Jackson reaches for his sidearm. Too slow. Damon raises the pistol, aims, fires. The muzzle flash whites out the camera for a single frame. Officer Marks's head snaps back. Officer Jackson ducks, his hands flying to his ears. Damon fires again, again, again. 4 shots, 5. The windshield spiderwebs into 1,000 fractures. Damon lowers the gun. He stares through the shattered glass at what he's done. His lips move. The audio crackles, distorted by gunfire echo. Then it clears. His voice comes through the speakers, crystal perfect. "I'm not going back to jail." He turns, walks away. Same measured pace he arrived with. No running, no stumbling. Pure, deliberate exit. The video continues for 7 more seconds. Officer Jackson's hand appears in frame, reaching for the radio. Blood streaks his fingers. The screen cuts to black. The courtroom sits frozen. No one breathes. No one moves. Damon stares at the dark monitor. His chest rises and falls faster now. Faster. His compromised brain defense crumbles like wet paper. Judge Cross removes his glasses, sets them on the bench with infinite care. When he speaks, his voice could cut steel. "Mr. Brackwell, stand up." Damon rises on shaking legs. His attorney grips his elbow to steady him. "You knew exactly what you were doing," Judge Cross says. Each word lands like a gavel strike. "You assessed your surroundings. You checked for witnesses. You stepped closer to ensure your shots would kill." Damon's eyes well. Tears spill down his cheeks in twin streams. "You murdered Officer Reynold Marks because you were wanted, because you carried a gun that night specifically to avoid arrest, because you valued your freedom more than his life." The judge's hand flattens against his bench. "This nonsense about a compromised brain. The video proves otherwise. You are a calculating killer who made a calculated choice." Damon's knees buckle. His attorney holds him upright. "The sentence of this court is an indeterminate sentence in New York State Prison. Maximum, natural life. Minimum, 50 years. Judge Cross leans forward. "Let me make this simple for your compromised brain, Mr. Brackwell. You will die behind concrete and steel. You will never breathe free air again." The bailiffs move toward Damon. He collapses into his chair, face buried in handcuffed hand. His shoulders heave with sobs that sound like drowning. Officer Jackson stands in the gallery. His jaw unclenches for the first time in months. He doesn't smile, doesn't celebrate, just nods once. Officer Mark's mother presses her palm against her chest. Her daughter wraps an arm around her shoulders. Neither woman cries. They've emptied that well dry. Claudia Martinez closes her case file. Detective Pierce coils the hard drive cables with methodical precision. Marcus Trent packs his briefcase in silence. The bailiffs lift Damon to his feet. His legs barely support his weight. They guide him toward the side door that leads to holding cells. Before he disappears, he glances back. His eyes find Officer Jackson. No words pass between them. Just recognition. One man destroyed 2 lives with a single choice. The door closes. The lock engages with a metallic thunk that echoes through the courtroom. Judge Cross gathers his papers. This court is adjourned. Outside, rain begins to fall. The question no one asks, but everyone thinks. How many seconds separate a routine stop from a funeral? How fast does fear become murder? The recovered video answered what happened, but it raised a deeper question, one that haunts every case like this. What makes a man choose violence when words might have saved him? That question lingers long after the courtroom empties, long after the cameras stop recording, long after Damon Brackwell vanishes into the prison system he feared so much he killed to avoid. Some questions don't have answers, only consequences. If this story moved you, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We've got more cases that reveal the razor-thin line between choices and consequences. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Share your perspective. Help others understand. Because these stories aren't just about criminals and victims. They're about the moments that change everything. And those moments could happen to anyone.